it's Sunday night, it's 8 o'clock, therefore it's time for Empower Hour with me, Carl Andrews, the Managing Director of Motivated Minds. The best, probably the best, mental health and wellbeing provider based in Essex. So, for those that know, just drop in, put a hello so I can see you, see that you're watching. If not, if it's your first time here, that's fine. Just write a hello in the comments and then I can see that you're here. And I already have the beautiful Catherine and Keen family. Hello guys. Hi Tasha, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I can see a few of you already. Thanks for your comments. Hello, Lauren. So how are you all? How's your weekend been? What have you been up to? Let me know. So, if it is your first time here, this is how the hour usually pans out. Ish. So the first part of the hour is our moan and move on. So we have our imaginary fuck it bucket and you can dump whatever you want in there. In the past it's been teenagers, it's been partners, it's been traffic wardens, it's been people not following COVID rules, it's been all sorts. But it's a safe place to just dump your moan and move on, and we just support one another through that. Then later part of the hour we do our wellness wins. That's 3 things that we're either grateful for, have expanded our comfort zone, or just something that's just touched us this week, that's just made us come out of that autopilot that we are quite often on and take a moment to think, yeah, I did that, or oh, isn't that wonderful, or wow, humanity still lives. Whatever your thoughts. So that's your wellness wins. So we try and muster up 3 for the week. It's a great exercise to do, even on a daily basis. So if you do like that when you do it with us, try thinking about doing it daily with your family. And then the last part of the hour, I get our different types of cards out. We have empowering questions. We have affirmations. We have stress less techniques. You get to choose a card and I'll read it out, and that's for you to practice for the week ahead. Catherine, all I can see so far is, well, I've been for a dirty burger. Let me carry on scrolling down those comments this evening, so all good. Look at that. Claire says, hi Carla, how are you today? I'm fabulous, and I'll be telling you why I feel fabulous today as we crack on through the hour. Claire, how are you though? Let us know how you are. Catherine's all good. Hi Tracy, thanks for joining us. Let us know what you've been up to this weekend and how it's filled your self-care or your well-being, or what you've done that's good for you this weekend. Now, I went for a lovely walk yesterday with the lovely Lauren, who's here. Hold on, finger and technology doesn't work here, wherever the comments are. And we went to Paper Mill Lock, which is in Chelmsford, and I've been wanting to go there for years. I've never got there. And Lauren jumped in the car yesterday and we said, right, left, right, what way are we going to go? And we ended up Paper Mill Lock. Now, for anyone that knows me, I'm a water baby. I love water. So the minute we got there and we're watching all the kayakers and the paddle boarders, I was like, I need to buy one. Now I'm in the certain time of my life where my children have left home. I actually have money because they've left home and not eaten everything in the fridge. But it would be a great way for me to be physically active. So I've spent all weekend Googling the best options, and I'll tell you a bit more about that later in the hour. Hi Katie, thanks for joining us. The lovely Katie. How have you been? So, Moan and move ons. Let's get our moan and move ons out of the way. What have you got for me today? What has got on your nerves? Who or what would you like to put into our imaginary fuck it bucket? I will make one day. I will have one for you to sit here. But what would you put in the fuck it bucket? Mine would certainly be this weekend. I went to the range, and people not, shops spend a lot of money marking out the floor. It's tiresome, like it's hard work marking out floors. You've got to measure it, you've got to stick the tape down, you've got to make sure it sticks. So they go to a lot of effort. And how hard is it to stand on that spot? That's what I'm putting in my bucket. That's my moan and move on, is people that will literally stand behind you, queuing like that. So yes, that's in my fuck it bucket. What's going in yours? Oh, we've got some lovely stuff. We've got a sister that would go into the bucket, absolutely. Headaches and toothaches, absolutely. People not using hand sanitizer when they go into shops. Yeah, that's another one. So, yeah, definitely some things going into our moan and move on there. There are some good things though. Tracy has looked after herself this weekend by a 3-mile walk. That's good. Cooked a lovely roast dinner for myself and my dad today. Then he stayed to watch football. Happy days, they won. Love Paper Mill Lock, beautiful place, absolutely. So Tracy, I'm glad that you've had a good day. Lots of self-care there, and looking after Dad as well, which must make you feel great. Claire, I'm not too bad than I was the other day. I went out to town for the first time since lockdown in March last year, and my daughter came out as well. How did you cope with that, Claire? Was it better than you thought it was going to be? Was it harder? Like what was going on around that? Let us know a little bit more, because you might be able to help more people, or we might be able to help you some more. So let us know. I went to the range yesterday too, and the queuing was ridiculous. Too close. Yes. People not taking note of social distancing rules in shops. Kay, absolutely with you. That was my moan and move on. I couldn't agree with you more. There was no social distancing and barely anyone wearing masks. Didn't like it. And no one sanitised of hands. Yes. So, Claire, I'm sure it was hard for you, but if you're wearing your mask, you're sanitising your hands. What I would say is try not to touch stuff. Like usually you take something off the shelf, you read it. I'm very mindful these days that I'm not touching everything, because as many of you know, I got COVID at Christmas time. And before Christmas, I'd been socially distancing from everyone. There was only one person that was within 2 meters of me, and everyone else was kept away. I kept very strict to it all, and I still caught COVID. And I swear it must have been off of something I'd been handling, as opposed to close contact. So yeah, I'm very mindful now that I don't touch stuff when I go out unless that's what I'm having. So I find that you have to be prepared to step out of the way for people or pause and let people pass, then it's not too bad. Yeah, I agree. That's what I tend to do. The only time you can't do that, I've noticed though, is in the queues, when people literally come up and stand right behind you. But I use my voice, I use my looks first of all, which is like a turn around and like like what a parent does to me. Like, oh, you've done what again? um, and then if not, I found my voice today to say to the lady, like, back off. So get out of my zone. No, didn't like it. My anxiety was through the roof and panic attacks kicked in. Kids running around, parents not watching their kids. Claire, next week the hub will be open from tomorrow, and I'm sure at the weekend it'll be quieter. So if you want to sort of start getting out and come to a safe space, then we can arrange that, because it might be that we just start sort of bringing you into the hub, and that be your aim, so it will hopefully lower your anxiety about getting out and going to town. So or if not this coming weekend, maybe in a few weekends time, because this weekend I would imagine, certainly for the next couple of weeks, shops are going to be crazy. Like, I don't know, people have been starved from buying new t-shirts or something. So just give it a time. When you're ready, then come to the hub, because we could always arrange for you to come through the back of the hub as opposed to the front of the hub, if that's what you needed. Let me just go back a little bit. I find that you have to be prepared. No, I've read it all. Right, sending you hugs. I hope it gets better for you. Thanks, Lauren, for reaching out to the lovely Claire there. Yeah, I'm sure it will, okay? But if there's anything we can do to support, you know that we're all here and we will do what we can for you. So something's just come through. It's all good. I know sometimes some of you like to send stuff through anonymously, but it wasn't that. So it's all good. Okay, so that's our moan and move ons. It's an important part to be able to express how we feel when we're pissed off. I never used to verbalise what frustrated me. I was always like a volcano and kept it in. So by having my sort of fuck it bucket or my moan and move on space, it allows me to just verbally get out what's inside. And sometimes I have to laugh at myself that I've let something get to me, and other times I just have to vent until it's gone. Sometimes as well, it's always great to reach out to others and they go, oh, I've felt that, and then you take the mick together. So there is nothing worse than someone going, oh, I felt that and mine was so much worse. So you have to be mindful of people that do that like want to take your story and exaggerate on it that theirs was worse. But there is sort of a way that when we can tell people and they're like, oh, I had similar, mine was a funny story, it ended up like this, and you can both go, oh yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, so moan and move ons are important. What about our wellness wins? What things have we got for our wellness wins? As I said at the beginning of the hour, if we were looking at something that you're thankful for, something maybe that you've achieved in the last week, or just something that you've witnessed that's just sort of raised your positive thoughts on something. Now, I was saying to the lovely Lauren yesterday that in secondary school we was taught about the Tudors. Wasn't really taught about our current monarchy, and I didn't realise quite as much about Prince Philip as I did as I have in the past sort of 48 hours. Obviously it's very sad that he's passed away at 99 years old, and condolences to the royal family and their friends. But what a wonderful life Prince Philip led in his, certainly his later years, for what he stood for. I mean, everyone, I believe, knows of the Duke of Edinburgh Awards, and how important they are to young people. But I was reading about his relationship with the Queen and how that came about, and lots of photos of them sort of laughing together. My particular favourite that I found was of him dressed as a guard, and the Queen's walked along, and the Queen always has this. She's brilliant for her professionalism, but there's just this schoolgirl sort of laughter, this giggle that you can just see coming out in this photo, and it's pure delight. And you just know he's been cheeky and pranking her, and she's like, probably, you silly fool, you wait till like I've finished with this conference or whatever it is. So it's been extraordinary to read all of those positive stories in the last sort of 48 hours. But it's a shame we're not brought up with that in our education system, what sort of that closer history. But yeah, so that was just one of my thoughts of just, I liked reading those positive stories. So that's definitely one of my wellness wins for this week. It just gave me that hope that there are people going out in the world just going above and beyond and making it a better place, and I think Prince Philip was definitely one of those. My second wellness win was definitely my self-care this weekend. A little walk with Lauren yesterday, a couple of miles walk, a lovely drive. Lauren probably didn't think so, because I'm one of these drivers that I love houses. So I drive along going, oh, look at that house! Isn't that lovely? Look at their gardens. Look and at 5 miles an hour as well. So, but it was a very joyful day out that we had yesterday. So that was good. And then today, just gardening and pottering around, and yeah, just relaxing. I feel so relaxed. So that's my 3 wellness wins. Let's read yours. Let me say hello to Carol first of all. Hiya, Carol. And I've got Lauren's wellness wins. So walked around 6.5 miles around London today with my daughter before the streets start to get busier as things open up from tomorrow. Lauren, that was a brilliant call. I saw your photos online, and wow, just what an amazing experience to be able to walk around London when it's so quiet. That's why I always used to like walking around cities at sort of 5 o'clock in the morning. But I'm gutted that I didn't think of doing that. But yeah, fantastic photos. Must have been a real great experience, and really good that you got to share it with Mia as well. Lovely walk and Costas with me yesterday. Oh, there you go. And then son completed his assessments that will lead to more help at school. It's been a long time coming, and I feel like we really turned a corner this week. Fantastic wellness wins there, Lauren. Well done. Well done. Connor says you could tell it was his time to go soon. He went into hospital, 99 years old, is lucky. Connor, I couldn't agree with you more. Like, he had a very full life, and bless him, he did look ill towards the end, but I'm just glad that he was at home with his family, and yeah, 99 years is a good old age, isn't it? So but what an amazing man. So, any more wellness wins? Oh, you're typing away. And I'll give you a second while you're typing away, because I do know some of you will be typing. So, as I said, I was interested in the kayaking. So next weekend I'm booking in to do some kayaking. So I'm going to buy myself a nice kayak this year and use my time off work and my adulting money, which was always went on my kids, my grown-up money, to have fun and be more physically active. Lauren said she met the lovely Prince Philip. Such a lovely man. So yes, if anyone wants to come along at some point and try paddling, then that would be, we'll sort that out on a Saturday or something. Be a good laugh in the summer. Now, the Keane family have put in their wellness wins, so let's have a read. Roast beef for the first time, and it was edible. Oh, well done, well done. Lots of housework this weekend. Satisfying to see more clean. Oh, absolutely. Love a good clean. Well done. And good outcome on meeting with another company. Well done. 3 fabulous wellness wins there from lovely Catherine Kane. Are the rest of the family writing what theirs, Catherine, tonight? Or are we on school night so the kids are bed? Oh, here's Christine's. Went to see friends in their garden. Oh, nice. Still a bit chilly, isn't it? We had a beautiful day last Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Last weekend. It was beautiful. And then this week's been a bit chilly. So, but glad you got to see your friends. Finished 2 displays at school ready for term. Excellent. And watching daughter play football. Fantastic wellness wins there, Christine. It's nice watching the kids play sports. A lot of parents are back doing that now. I hear rugby's on. I know Lauren's daughter's been doing rugby. Another, Janine, her daughter's been playing football. And both her daughter's teams won this weekend. So that's great to hear. The keen children are in bed. It's a school night. Well, you can tell them Carla Lala says hello. And maybe you can get them to write their wellness wins and earlier, and I'll still read them out if they want to next week. Connor says, I'm waiting for a phone call to go on 24-hour. Only thing interesting as off work for 2 weeks roughly. Oh wow, Connor, what do you do? Oh, so waiting for a phone call to go on 24 hours. Oh. What are you going to do with your 2 weeks off? Have you made any plans? Even if it's cleaning out cupboards? Because it's not like we can exactly go abroad at the moment, is it? Which is a bit of a shame. But, yeah. I say a bit of a shame. I haven't been abroad for years. Not that I've had to pay for anyway. And again, it's this mummy moment. I was working it out today that since I was sort of the last 30 years, I've spent every bit of money having to put a roof over my head, and certainly the last 21 years looking after my kids as well, and it's been tough. And I've just got to a point in my life where I'm now financially better off, and I've got better work-life balance, and I'm itching. I've got this money that's getting saved up, and I'm like, okay, can't go abroad, can't do this, can't do that. So it's a great position to be in. It's certainly one that I've never experienced before, but it's part of my well-being is now working out what to do for me that's going to be healthy for me. In the past, I've given that money away to other people really, and never had, if I had spare money, I lent it to people and never got it back. So I now have sort of a rule that I don't give unless I can afford to literally give it. I don't loan. I either give it away or the answer is a no. That's a boundary I had to learn, because I kept lending money to people that said that they would pay it back, and I lost some really good close friendships, and that really hurt. So part of my boundaries now is only lend what I can afford to give. And as I said, now my boys don't eat me out of house and home. It leaves a couple of £100 each month to think, oh, okay, how can I spend that to benefit my well-being? So some of it's gone on the house in the last couple of months, some of it's gone on the garden, and some of it will be going on kayaking lessons and stuff like that. Catherine Keane says son's wellness win would probably have been the McDonald's on the way back from dropping some stuff off at my house. Well, he did all right then, didn't he? So, yeah, good stuff. Got to go on a 24-hour ECG. Oof. Costochondritis has seemed to knock my body sideways, as keep having episodes of passing out, freezing or sweating. Oh, trying to get my fitness back in the meantime so my asthma doesn't flare up when I work. Oh, Connor, I'm sorry to hear that. Can't be nice at all. But let's hope that the doctors will, from the ECG, be able to find out what's going on, and then find a way to help you. Catherine's daughter's wellness win should be going into town with a few friends. Probably proud of her actually talking to people. That would be a brilliant wellness win as well. It's great as children grow up and they start to sort of do these milestones, especially when you know that they have barriers to them. I know one of my sons really struggles socially, so when I see him talking to people that he sort of just met, I'm always super proud, because I know the battle that he goes through with trying to make conversation and trying to sustain it, because it's not easy for him. So it's when you can see someone sort of fight with their mental health and the barriers that they might face, it does make you ever so proud when you see them getting on. But that's the thing with mental health, isn't it? It's the hidden illness, or it's the hidden barriers. I always remember people saying to me about my confidence, and I always seem so confident, and they didn't see the anxiety that sort of goes on in the background, or when I've done big presentations, I can feel my voice go up about 800 pitches, and I talk really high. But other people don't tend to notice that. I mean, they do if they know me, but if they don't know me, then they just think that's how I talk. So it's really, we have to give ourselves a pat on the back when it's us doing it, but when it's our kids or our loved ones doing it, then it's really good to see. Another parental wellness win, knowing that the emergency alert works on my daughter's smartwatch. Although it went off by accident, panicking both Christine and I into calling her within 1 minute to check on her. Well, that is good that that's working on her smartwatch. That's brilliant. I know Eddie's got it, my other son has got it on his phone, and he sets it off all the time. Like, can you call me? I'm in an emergency, can you call me? And I ring him, he's like, oh yeah, sorry, I knocked it. So, but yeah, technology these days is also great. I think I would have scared my nana out of her wits if I had that technology when I was younger. So, yeah. Some fantastic wellness wins then. Have we got any more? Is there anyone even just with one? And for those people that are watching that don't like to comment, because I know that you don't, and you're sitting there, and you might even be struggling with finding one of those wellness wins, but do dig deep, and just remember that if nothing else, even if you haven't got out of bed today, even if you haven't brushed your teeth, even if you haven't done like eaten or but you purposely switched on for this just to feel some kind of connection, that's okay. That's still a wellness win. If you've got up and all you've done is brush your teeth, then that's cool too. Whatever it is, even if it's that you've just opened your eyes and gone, you know what, I'm gonna just sleep through today and I'll give Monday another go. That's fine. It's a decision you've made. So I want just recognise and be compassionate to yourself. Me too. So many people had no idea how I was feeling. Replying to Catherine, yeah. And chondritis is the inflammation of the ribs and chest bones. Ouch, that sounds painful. I went for many years with nobody knowing I had anxiety. I should have got an Oscar. Absolutely, Catherine. To anyone that's watching and had barriers, has struggled with their mental health, they actually say a lot of actors have probably got mental health problems because they're so good at acting. That's why they've gone into that industry. I don't know how true that is. That's an article I read, but sometimes it's easier to act through it, isn't it? And as Connor has said, people just need to remember to keep social distancing and allow colleagues to do their job in comfort from tomorrow. I suppose certainly with working in shops, and certainly those shops that have been closed, like if everyone starts going mad in Primark, or I know Primark have actually opened their stores for longer hours, but like I know Debenhams actually is opening up for a couple of weeks before it officially closes down to get rid of its stock. Just let's be human when we go shopping and be mindful rather than thoughtless. And yeah, so let's hope that I know everyone watching here will be angels and will have a very thoughtful. Unfortunately, not everyone operates that way, but if we can maybe get the message out as much as we can. Okie dokes. Right, I'm going to get the cards out. We're flying through this hour. Okie dokes. Right, what have I grabbed? I've got the stress less cards. I've got the cards against anxiety, empowering questions, and affirmations. So, as I tell you all each week, we have a happy shop that sells mental health merchandise. So it works out of our Happy Hub, which is a real building in Eastgate Shopping Centre in Basildon, and the shop is split into 5 zones. There's the shop part, which all our sales help us to be a sustainable non-profit organisation. We have our sporting area, which is going to remain closed for a little bit longer, and we have our community cafe, which opens tomorrow for takeaways only, I'm afraid. And we're still learning to use the coffee machine, so it's just going to be hot drinks and possibly cake. And then we do our sessions to support mental health there. So we'll be doing more and more as time goes on. At the moment we've just brought back our Well Youth Club, and we're mixing it with our younger ones. So our younger ones and older are mixed at the moment because the numbers are quite low. So it runs from 3:30 to 5:30, and when those numbers sort of reach sort of about 8, then we'll separate it. So it'll be the younger ones sort of 3:30 to 5:30, and then the older ones from 5:30 to sort of 7:30. So that's the way that will go in the future. But if you do know of anyone in the Basildon area or willing to travel to the Basildon area and wants a wellbeing a youth club that focuses on children's well-being, then we're the place to come. Okay, let's just go back to these. When I eventually had to admit to my anxiety, I went back to see my old boss, who was very surprised. I'd worked for him for years and he had no idea. I think that's quite true with a lot of bosses or even friends. They don't realise what's going on, and we don't live in a society that says, you know what, we don't normalise this. I'm actually struggling with anxiety today, and we should. I saw a brilliant post on Instagram, and let me read it out for you because I screenshot it. Where's my gallery? There's my gallery. Did I download it or screenshot it? Screenshots. And it's, how's life? And then the other person says, falling apart more than a fucking Cadbury's flake, mate. And it's true, we feel like that sometimes, but we don't normalise that language, do we? We don't normalise that actually it's okay to say that we're falling apart, that we're struggling, that it's always, yeah, I'm fine. Is that the British way? Is that the stiff upper lip? Is that our culture? I don't know. But I think it is important to go, yeah, I'm really struggling at the moment. But then other people will say, well, how do I respond to that? I just always respond to it like, do you want a hug? Is there anything I can do? Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to get a Costas and just enjoy a hot chocolate and a bit of cake? Like, what is it you want from me? Whatever I can do to make you comfortable, I'm going to try my best. Connor says, I never knew I had mental health at all when I was like 16, as kept seeing black and end up having violent episodes to the point I got put into the MACU on a sanction. After so long of tests, etc., I got told what it was and help. Now I can cope with it unless it gets really bad. Connor, that's great then that you've got you've had support, but everyone has mental health. Just like we have physical health. So think of it this way, and when we're really struggling, that's when the problems can come in. Some people have conditions or disorders. I'm a bit with the word disorder because I believe in neurodiversity. So sort of neurodiverse conditions are your autism and ADHD, dyslexia. So we all have mental health, and this is what I think doesn't get educated enough to young people, is that we all have mental health, and if we're struggling, if mentally we're struggling, it's going to have an impact on us somewhere. So if we've had trauma, or if we're under an enormous amount of prolonged stress, or if we are just in environments that are pulling us sort of one way one minute and then another way the next, it all has an effect on our mental health. So we need to do our utmost to support our mental health, and that is through nutrition, exercise, psycho education, because nobody knows about the brain and how it works. And I think that would help people. And I think sort of brain plasticity, so the fact that we can actually malleable, our brain is malleable, so we can change our brain to help us. Like years ago they used to say that as you get older you lose it, and you do lose it to some extent, but actually the brain can also rewire itself. So we are very lucky that it is fixable. Like for example with a stroke, so with a stroke a blood vessel breaks in the brain, is my understanding of it, and can damage that part of the brain. Years ago they used to say, right, lay still, don't move, and you'd be in hospital for weeks whilst you recover, but you would ultimately usually lose the movement down one side of your body. In more recent years, they've realised that actually if someone's having a stroke, the best thing that they can do is to have someone help them, but actually keep that side of the brain, that body all moving, because then the brain is reforming, is sort of making bypasses, and to keep those creating those pathways in the brain to keep it active. So now they have physiotherapy pretty much straight away as soon as someone's had a stroke. That's my understanding of what I've read from numerous studies anyway. So but yeah, it just shows you the brain is very clever. Weird thing, I've had mates saying I've changed, and I'm like, what you mean? As feels awful to talk about mental health to other people. I speak to my aunt if really bad, I seek help. Connor, I'm glad you seek help. You know where we are. You can always chat to us as well. I think from my understanding, a lot of people are scared to talk about mental health because they're worried of what to say. What would I reply back? That's what I hear from families or from friends of people that really are close to someone that's struggling. They're scared of saying the wrong thing. So yeah. Connor says people don't really know enough about mental health as it's not a game what people make sound of it. Yeah, it can also be thrown around quite frivolously. Mental health and other medical conditions are not visible to see. Indeed. So, but we're all doing our bit. We're here every Sunday night. We're talking about mental health. We're talking about how it affects us or how it affects our loved ones. And you know what? If one new person joins every month or every 2 months, then we'll keep doing this, and hopefully it will just keep pushing that message out there. We have some people that join us for some weeks and then we don't see them for a little while and then they come back. So it's just always a pleasure just to be here on a Sunday night and support people. Just they know that we're here and they can message us throughout the week and as I said, if you're based in Essex or you can get to Essex, then you can always pop into our Happy Hub. And there's a whole team of us now. Obviously, I started Motivated Minds 5 years ago. Well, 10 years ago. But 5 years ago, I quit my job to do it full time. And as of this year, we now have about 10 staff. And we have a mass of fantastic volunteers and supporters that have just driven us to be recognised across the borough. So it means that we get to help more and more people, and I couldn't be prouder of everyone that's been on the Motivated Minds journey. Some of them stick with us all the way through, and some it's just been part of their life path, and that's fine too. But we're ever so grateful to everyone who has come and supported us. So let's look at the cards. Who would like a card? We have, hold on, empowering questions. We have stress less techniques. We have the love and relationship affirmators. We have the normal affirmators. And we have cards against anxiety. So you can choose 1, 2, it's up to you. If there's something that has sparked your fancy, then shout out. And I'll read a card and we'll see what it says together. I didn't bring my drink tonight. Just a reminder, actually, for anyone that's looking for our Cup of Kindness, it's going to be run online and from the hub on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. So Cup of Kindness with our beautiful Jo Line, who does it every week, and it's all about emotional regulation. So a great session to join in on. Iris will be back in May once she's had her second jab, and we'll be doing arts and crafts. We have our men's program, so our men's only group that build bikes together on a Friday morning, and then on a Sunday the hub is open for all to enjoy. And yeah, so, and the shop will be open all week, so please do pop in. And as I said, if you've got any youngsters that might enjoy our youth clubs, then please bring them along. Connor, so cards against anxiety. So this comes as a book and cards. So the idea is you pick a card at random. So let me find one. I'm going to give them a little shuffle. And it has a page number on it. So this one's called Shoot the Parrot. So page 62. Just turn to page 62. Shoot the parrot. Okay, let's have a read. There's a parrot on your shoulder, and it's not a nice one. It's a dumbass squawk box trained to repeat the bullshit you think about yourself. Over and over and over. You're a fake. You're a freak. You fail at life. If that's what you are hearing, then shoot the damn parrot off of its perch. So first of all, you want to hear the squawking. Take note of the negative thoughts and feelings screeching in your mind. Spot the parrot. Now, anyone that works with me, I call these ants, okay? Automatic negative thoughts. But if a parrot works for you, a parrot works for you. But you're going to spot the parrot. You're going to imagine a parrot on your shoulder, cowling insults into your ear, squawking about your insecurities. Number 3, you're going to shoot the parrot. In your mind's eye, take aim and shoot that parrot off your shoulder so you don't have to listen to him for a second longer. The negative narrative parrot can be persistent. Anytime he jumps back onto your shoulder, take aim and shoot him again. Sorry, parrot lovers, even you will feel better after this deed. Creating a physical embodiment of your negative self-talk and then imagining yourself getting rid of it can feel pretty empowering. The fact that this is completely random can help lift your mood too. Absolutely. So shoot the parrot or get rid of the ants. Whatever vision you want to have in your head, then do that. I like that one. So that's a activity to do for negative self-talk. And we all have that negative self-talk. 80,000 thoughts is thought that our brain processes a day. Now you imagine if just even if 20% is negative, even if 5% is negative, yeah, the impact that that can have. We wouldn't treat our own friends like that. We wouldn't talk to our friends or people that we love in that negative way, yet we do it to ourselves. And one of my biggest times of doing it for me is still in the mornings. So if I don't get up and get out of bed straight away, if I enjoy my laying, I then have this negative narrative going through my brain. So yeah, be careful. Never heard of a parrot or an ant, just learn it's a bucket of water or thoughts and make holes in the bucket to feel better. Ah, now that's another one. Okay. One positive thought makes a hole in the bucket. Oh, it's my lovely Eddie. Hello Edward, you're on Empower Hour. Do you want to chat after? Yeah. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright, babe? Go on. I'll put you on speaker. Yep. There you go, you're on speaker.
Am I loud and proud?
You're loud and proud.
Oh, hello everyone. How are you all doing?
They're really well.
You answered. Yeah, no, I'm doing alright. Julia's here as well. Julia's saying hello.
Julia?
Peter's,
Oh, Jules! Jules,
yeah,
excellent.
Spend a bit of time with her.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no. Alright, well, have fun with your Empower Hour stuff. You've only got 10 minutes left, so
yeah.
Make it a good one.
Alright then, thanks Ed, bye.
Bye, I love you all, bye.
Bless him. So that's my son. He used to, when he lived with me, used to take part in Empower Hour, or when it used to be on a Saturday morning at work, he would always come in and be part of it. And sometimes I would cringe sitting next to him wondering what he was going to say, because he is known for sort of saying exactly what he thinks. And now I actually miss him. So, Catherine, I will pass your hi on to him. I was actually looking on when I set this up earlier, you can link in with other people. So I might have to, when he's got his internet sorted in his new flat, that we can invite him on. At least then I can mute him when he starts talking stuff that I don't want him talking about. So, right. Okay, so any more cards? Does anyone want any cards? I've put them to one side. Someone asking who's Jules. Jules is a friend. She's a friend of Motivated Minds. She is on here sometimes. She comes on to Empower Hour in the past. And she's working in the hospital tonight, which is where Ed is. His girlfriend had an allergic reaction earlier. So, yeah. Christine says, yeah, we miss Ed too. I'd loan him out. I can loan him out to you for sort of 6 months at a time. Actually, now he's got his own place now. You can have him for an hour on a time. He learnt from you about this, I bet. About mental health, yes, and he also taught me, because Ed struggles, well, I say struggles, he is diagnosed with ADHD and autism. Now, we consider them superpowers in this house. So we have had a lot of learning to do, the pair of us. But when I was studying for my degree in psychology, Ed was only sort of about 8 to 11, but he would actually read my psychology books because he's very intelligent at the same time. So yeah. Ability to mute your kids. I'd pay for that feature. Exactly. Yeah, and I'm sure she will be okay. I spoke to him before in Power Hour, so she was in the right place, and I will phone them back just shortly. So if you guys do not want any more cards, if we're all good, I'm going to end in Power Hour a couple of minutes short. I do apologise. But then I can go and check up on my son and make sure that they're all okay. I would love to see you all next week at 8 o'clock. I hope that you'll join me. And please do tell other people about us and get the message out that we're here and we're friendly. We don't bite. Yeah, I hope that all helps. Right, have a brilliant week ahead. If you need me, please just do message. I know there's going to be some change with the shops opening up. But as I said, if anyone is in the Essex area and they want to get out to a safe place, then let us know that you're going to come down to the Happy Hub and we'll ensure that it's calm and slow and what you need to get you out. Okay? Take care, everyone, and have an awesome week. Thanks, Claire. Bye.